Smithson Valley is rolling off to a 5-0 start halfway through the 2017 season. Not much has slowed the Rangers down, and following the bye week, Smithson Valley is feeling fresh and re-energized as the team embarks on the second half of the season. Tonight, the Rangers look to keep the momentum rolling as they take on the Wagner Thunderbirds here in Converse. Good evening and welcome to Rutledge Stadium on the Rangers Network. I'm Brian Freeman along with Tony Brubaker and Jeff Gandy. Tony, it's been a couple of weeks since Smithson Valley last played and last took the field, but if they pick up where they left off, I think they'll be in good shape.
It looks like they have become a well-oiled machine, even with a first-year quarterback starter. I think their weapons have become, they've become better in number. The more guys are starting to help offensively, even with a couple of injuries to running backs. They seem to have at least 4 receivers, maybe 5 receivers who they can depend on every time. And when you switch to the defensive side of the ball, there are names that we didn't know before the start of this season who are playing really solidly. But one we do know is Jacob Zuber, and he's becoming someone that could be a nominee for Defensive Player of the Year in the district.
Again, that's the voice of Tony Brubaker. I'm Brian Freeman. This is Smithson Valley Football on the Rangers Network. Coming up, we'll talk more about tonight's matchup and visit with Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. From Converse, Texas, we're back in just a moment.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible, over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
And welcome back to Rutledge Stadium here in Converse, Texas. Brian Freeman with Tony Brubaker on the Rangers Network. Smithson Valley angling for a 6-0 start to the 2017 season. And Tony, again, the last time the Rangers took the field, they were dominant in a 54-0 win over East Central. You and I, throughout the season, have been chronicling the progression of Levi Williams at quarterback. What a night for him against the Hornets. Only needed 11 completions to rack up 242 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, maybe one of the better games he's had this year.
And he seems to be just coming into what we expect of a Smithson Valley quarterback, and that is consistency. That is being the engineer of the offense who does the right thing at the right time. And again, as I mentioned in the previous segment, he's got some weapons that I don't think some other quarterbacks think they've had, even though they have. But he's got guys that are really making plays after catches.
We all know about Trevon Merrick Woodard. We knew about him coming into the season. In terms of a player like Ricky Rios, a year ago played safety. We were aware that he was making a position shift to wide receiver this season. Didn't know he was going to be this good so far in district play. Rios, 6 catches, a $193, 3 touchdowns, and he was a huge playmaker against East Central 2 weeks ago.
He has just become the key guy on a big third down, a big goal line offense from the 7. He's the guy they look for because he seems to always be able to get open.
Now looking at Wagner, Tony, the Thunderbirds come in 3-2. They began the year 3-0, but so far tough go of it in 27 6A play. 0-2 in district so far. You don't see a ton of the slot T triple option offense in high school football, especially at the 6A level, yet here we are. The Thunderbirds run it, and they run it pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard to prepare for, and that's why a lot of coaches do it, because every week the defense has 6 days to get ready for what you're doing, and if you're really good at it, that makes it hard. The problem with that offense is if you get behind, you don't have a chance because you can't get quick scores. But they have a couple of running backs that seem like they can be pretty dangerous with both Black and Butler, and they've been able to move the ball at times. It's just what I think their problem has been is they haven't got many stops defensively.
You mentioned Carlton Black and L.J. Butler, but the head of the snake for this Wagner offense has to be his quarterback, Tobias Harris. While it is an option-heavy offense, he runs the football a ton.
He does. He's very athletic, seems to be able to get to the corner fast, and what he is able to do is he's able to get in the end zone when he runs the ball.
You look at the season, in fact, piggybacking off of Tony's point there, 11 rushing touchdowns so far for Tobias Weaver. Nobody on the team has more rushing touchdowns than him. In fact, nobody has more than one this season, and Weaver has 11 of them. Smithson Valley's going to have to keep an eye on him all night long in this option offense.
Well, and his total carries are more than any of the other running backs combined. So he is the snake at the head, and what we expect of him tonight is he's going to have to read those ends. He's going to have to see what Smithson Valley's able to give him, and my guess is that Larry Hill and his defensive coaches aren't going to give him much.
Kickoff is coming up shortly here from Rutledge Stadium. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll hear from Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
Here we go. Tie ball game with just 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Rangers are looking to score. Here's a snap. Bayless, who is wide open down the near sideline. And he makes a catch at the 10, the 5, touchdown. My goodness, what a play, and the Rangers win. And welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. Smithson Valley is 5-0 on the season, 2-0 in 27 6A play. Their next opponent is Wagner. A week from this Friday, the Thunderbirds are 3-2 and 0-2 in 27 6A play. Coach, looking at this Wagner football team, as we mentioned, the record, they did start 3-0 for a reason, so certainly there is some talent there. What initially jumps off the page when looking at the Thunderbirds?
Well, they are talented and they're well coached, and then they do some things that are a little out of the mainstream, offensively. For college football fans, Georgia Tech, Navy style of under center option football, which is obviously not something you see a lot of, and to quickly get ready for it when that's not anything close to what you've been defending for 5 weeks, that's tough. And they've got talented athletes to go with it. Similarly, defensively, they are a little bit out of the mainstream. Very multiple, very blitz-oriented, man coverage style of defense. Makes you do something right now, and have trapped opponents for a lot of big play losses. On the flip side, you've got big play opportunities if you can handle that. So we're going to have to spend some time blocking those multiple fronts.
You mentioned the offense for Wagner, that slot T, triple option offense, whatever you want to call it. If you want to have an extra week to prepare for any particular opponent, would this be it, given just how unique their offense is?
Well, it can't hurt. We're certainly going to spend some time on it. Have to. Some no ball drills. By that I mean we've got a dive threat, we got a pitch threat, we got a keep threat, and there's no ball in the drill. So everybody can't sneak a peek at where the ball is. If I've got the quarterback, I've got to take him. I've got the pitch man, I've got to take him. If I have the dive, I've got to take him. So it'll look a little funny out there this week in practice. But those are the types of things you've got to do when you defend something like that you just don't see very much.
Everybody is a threat then in this triple option offense when they have the football, but maybe the biggest threat has to be the quarterback, Tobias Weaver. He has the biggest numbers so far on the year for Wagner. Just how tough can he be to slow down?
Well, most of the blocking is arranged for him to end up with the ball. I mean, he has options, of course, but the way most people defend him, the ball's going to end up in his hands. And he's a very effective runner, makes real good, quick decisions on whether to keep, give, pitch. And then he throws the ball well. They're not throwing the ball a ton, as most option offenses don't. But when they have, they've got some threats, and it's very concerning because you got to commit a lot of guys to the run. And so your DBs sometimes are out there in one-on-one situations.
You alluded to their defense earlier. Their last game against Clemens, a 23-0 loss. They held the Buffaloes to only 3 touchdowns in the game, only 10 first downs the entire game as well. Looking at the play of Wagner's defense, what challenges will they present to you offensively?
Well, they're very multiple, for one thing, as we mentioned earlier. And so just who are they, where are they, how are they lining up, who do I block? And it may be different the next play because they have a different alignment. And a lot of blitz and good athletes doing it. So just knowing what to do is one thing. And then traditionally through the years, they've given us trouble. Moving the football against that style of defense. So we'll have our work cut out for us on that side of the ball as well.
You mentioned throughout the years you have some history with Wagner, whether that's in district play or in non-district, and it seems like the one prevailing theme every year is that they are not lacking in athletes.
No, they're not. They're not. And, we'll have to be on our P's and Q's, and we'll have to do things just right. On the other hand, that's our culture. That's kind of what we try to do every week. And so I don't think that's a strategy that suddenly is unique to Wagner, and hey, this week we're going to try to do that. It'll be more of the same, but there's no question our preparation will have to be different because they look different than other opponents.
Well, Coach, good luck against Wagner.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Stream live episodes of your favorite shows on the Food Network app. Download the app and watch the latest shows for free.
Who's got it?
The chance to become a Food Network star.
Well, I gotta check it out.
Because you're in control.
Let's get these baskets open. Whose dish is on the chopping block?
Your shows.
Well done.
When and where you want them.
It's a life lesson. I'm putting your creative intelligence to the test today.
Wow.
Action.
Stream now on your favorite devices.
Tall break. That's a mic drop. This is football, and this is how it is. Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
Whether you're out at the beach or chilling poolside, the summer heat is here and Music Choice is turning it up. Chill out with the latest music from your favorite kids artists and more. Your music lives here on Music Choice.
Hey guys, it's Sophia Carson here. Check out all of my music videos available on Music Choice On Demand. Available on GVTC. Just go to Free On Demand and select Music Choice.
When is shoe shopping more than just shoe shopping? When it's shoe shopping for a cure. Shop QVC presents Fanny Shoes on Sale. You'll find beautiful shoes by top designers, all at 50% off. And every purchase benefits breast cancer research and education. Great shoes for a great cause. What's not to love? Tune in Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Shop all October long at QVC.com.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
Uh-oh. Sorry?
Watch FX, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 527. GVTC, just plain smart.
In college football, you don't have the luxury of looking ahead. Every Saturday's a different way of destroying your season. They'll make the ground shake. They'll make your eyes burn. They'll show you hate and disrespect unlike anything you've ever seen. Don't think about January when there's a Wolverine coming for your face in September. The biggest game, the only game, is the one you're playing.
Get closer to the action like never before with NASCAR Race Hub on FS1. At the track.
Looks like Superman won.
In the shop.
Catching up with Joey Logano.
On the headsets and behind the scenes.
Every night, the place to be.
All season long.
Hear the story from the drivers who lived it.
That's how tough the track was to drive.
And get the ultimate setup from the legends of the sport.
You can't script it. There's certain things out of your control.
NASCAR Race Hub. All season long on FS1.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Just press enter and your GVTC home DVR will record your show automatically.
Thanks, Doug from GVTC, who looks exactly like Ranger Senior CJ Keeler.
I'm just Doug, here to help.
Fumble!
Here you go. Can I help you set up your favorite channel list now?
And welcome back to Converse, ready for Week 7 of the 2017 high school football season. It is 6-0 Smithson Valley taking on 3-2 Wagner. And I gave the Rangers one more win. Actually, Smithson Valley playing for a 6-0 start tonight, coming into the game with a record of 5-0. And Tony, look at a football game like this. Smithson Valley's rolling. Wagner right now struggling a little bit. But both teams seem to be a bit fresh as well coming off of the bye week. Anything could happen.
And I think that's what a coach like, that leads Wagner, Charles Bruce is probably thinking this is my chance to get someone like Smithson Valley with an extra week to prepare. Obviously, they look at video nonstop and they scheme for stuff like this. In a first-time challenge coming off of a bye, I think that Wagner is obviously excited because their kids are fired up to make maybe one of the best performances they've had all year because of extra preparation.
And we will get a look at Wagner's offense first tonight. Smithson Valley is kicking off to start the game here this evening, and back deep is Charles Bethany to return the game's opening kickoff. And here is Mason Reed to start tonight's game. Smithson Valley leads the all-time series 10-1, and they have won 7 in a row over the Thunderbirds. Their last loss came back in 2009.
Kick coverage has been one of the strengths of this special teams area at Smithson Valley.
This game is underway. Bethany from the 4. Muffson picks up the football, looking for an alley. And the Rangers stand him up out around the 10-yard line. And boy, Tony, right on cue, right? Great kickoff coverage there by the Rangers.
He didn't help himself, Bethany didn't help himself by mishandling the kick, but then by the time he did look up, there was nothing in front of him, no yardage in front of him of freedom.
Looking at Wagner's offense, very good in non-district play. Not very good so far since 27-6A play began 3 weeks ago. They have scored a grand total of 13 points in district. Shut out the last time they took the field against Clemens 2 weeks ago.
See right away one of the backups listed on the depth chart, Christian Romano is starting at the left corner.
And a quarterback, Tobias Weaver, the junior, so far in district play. Passing numbers not good. 3 of 17 for 42 yards and 2 picks. A running play on first down opens the game. Out to the 17-yard line, good for about 7 yards to bring up second down and 3.
The fullback run, really the bread and butter of a spread option type of offense. If the fullback can get yardage every play, then that loosens up everything else because your linebackers and even your strong safety has to come in. As I mentioned, Romano out there at cornerback, but Woodard is not in the starting defensive lineup.
Don't know how useful he is this evening playing at corner against a run-heavy offense here against Wagner. On second down, Weaver on the rollout, room to run now. He's a good runner and has the first down. Finally dragged out by Zuber, but not before he picks up the first at the 27-yard line.
That almost looked like a USC student body sweep, didn't it? A pitch to a tailback on the move, and then all those blockers in front of him. Plenty of green grass in front of him.
And so a good start so far for Wagner, about a minute into the game. Taking the ball out from their own 10 now to the 27. And Weaver keeps it again. And dropped from behind at around the 31-yard line. Stop made by Jarrett Zillman of the Rangers. Good for 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
You know, they averaged almost 33 points a game their first 3 games, so you know their offense has the ability to put points on the board. It looks pretty dangerous right now the way they're running it.
But again, since district play began, Wagner now playing better, more physical, talented football teams and defenses. Big run here on second down as the flag comes in. Penalties have been a huge issue for Wagner this year. The carry, by the way, by the junior Carlton Black, but is coming back. I mentioned the flags. Wagner is averaging 10 penalties per game.
Yeah, and you don't win many games when you get that many flags on the field, and obviously their coaching staff not happy with the call. They're out on the field. But we talk about it all the time. There's holding on every play. It depends who gets flagged, but sometimes when you get a big as hole as there was there, it's obvious.
And here's the thing, too. When you play behind the chains as an option offense that Wagner is, it's really hard to make up that yardage. You don't throw the ball a lot. So the flag makes it 2nd down and 13, and Weaver now out of the shotgun. Well, the Rangers nearly jumped there, but Weaver didn't call for the snap. 2nd and 13 from his own 24. Now looking to throw. Has a receiver out in the flat. Zuber, though, on the tackle along with Brady Chubb. On the catch there was the freshman L.J. Butler. Some yards back after the penalty, but 3rd and long coming up now for Wagner.
That's something we haven't talked about either. Their starting fullback, their key really to this offense is a freshman.
Speaking of which, the Rangers, of course, had a freshman start the season for them at running back, Darlington Frash, but unfortunately, out for the year, suffered a broken leg against Round Rock in the final non-district game of the season. 3rd down, 8 to go from the 29. And now Weaver plants himself back under center. The Rangers, though, jump. Free play. A shot taken to the far side. Jump ball is knocked down by Mason Pierce. The receiver, Bethany, had no chance to get to the football, but a free play, and Wagner's drive will continue.
One of the differences in the defense, too, we noticed in the pregame that Will Gibbons was not dressed out tonight, so Coleman'sberger playing in the middle of that defense at linebacker.
And he's looked good this year, too, by the way, the junior first-year varsity player. 20 tackles so far in the season. And that flag makes it now 3rd down and 3.
Kind of interesting to watch the Ranger defense adjusting to their offensive formation, really looking at keys each time.
7 players in the box here on 3rd down. Weaver, a quarterback draw, and darts forward for the first down. Again, a very impressive start to the game for Wagner's offense. Game about 3.5 minutes old, and again, this possession began back at their own 10-yard line. Now the football just shy of their own 40.
Can you imagine getting your scout team to try to duplicate this and to show your defense, especially with a quarterback like Weaver who has some kind of quickness?
Now 1st down, the Rangers again jump. Nobody really running a route there. Weaver no shot to take. And dragged down after a gain of a yard, but again, this will make it 1st down and 5. And there we saw Alex Flores jump, and he comes right off the field to the sideline.
It's been something you know, we're so far we don't really hear down on the field very well, but obviously his snap count is a good one, and he is getting the Ranger defenders to jump almost every play.
That's now 2 flags on the series for Smithson Valley's defense. A very good defense, by the way, so far this season. They've only given up 50 points all year in 5 games. On 1st and 5, a little run up the middle, and the Rangers sniff that out. The freshman Butler going nowhere. C.J. Keeler in on that tackle for the Rangers. along with Coleman'sberger, and now 2nd and 5.
Obviously, when you're talking about any kind of an options, it's an assignment defense. Each guy has a responsibility, and they have to do that to have a chance.
And look how close the safeties are playing, too, for the Rangers as well. No deep threat. Smithson Valley taking into consideration here an option pitch inside of midfield. All the way down to the Ranger 40-yard line is Carlton Black. Good job by the junior quarterback Weaver to string out that play, and Wagner's drive marching right along.
Just mentioned the assignment defense. We had taken care of the fullback. We had someone on the quarterback. There was no one on the pitch man that was out wide enough, and that became a big gain for the Thunderbirds.
4 minutes gone by, no score, but Wagner threatening right now. A team that hasn't scored in 3 weeks. From the Ranger 40 on 1st and 10. It is a run. Running to the outside again is Black, fighting his way down to the 34 before Johnson chops him down. That's good for 6. 2nd down and 4.
It's been a good drive. More runs of 5 yards or more than less than that.
It seems like every play for Wagner has been positive so far.
It seems that way.
And don't forget, there was a big 3rd down offsides call against Smithson Valley earlier in the drive. On 2nd and 4, Weaver wants to throw. He does over the middle, and it's incomplete. Boy, dangerous territory there. Good defense from Christian Romano over the top, defending against Bethany. And now it's 3rd down and 4.
I don't know that I'd say the receiver was open, but his throw wasn't very close to him either. It was a good 4 or 5 feet above his head. Therefore, the defender had an easy job pinning him inside.
That actually was Cobb's intended receiver, and he's been the best receiver this year for Wagner. 3rd and 4, could be 4-down territory for Wagner at the Ranger 34-yard line. Here's a run by the freshman again, and barrels ahead for the 1st down. L.J. Butler to the 29-yard line, picks up 5 yards.
You know, it's easy to say the fullback's a good runner and he's getting good yardage on those plays, but that offensive line, especially the middle, the 2 guards and the center, are getting some surge up the field, and he's got some room to run, and that's another 1st down.
You look back at that clock, the first quarter's already 5 minutes old. Wagner's already used nearly half the clock so far in this opening quarter. The Ranger offense, Levi Williams, has yet to see the field. On 1st down, option by the quarterback, Weaver. Slices his way to the 24-yard line. On the tackle there for the Rangers, Zillman again. And Wagner again staying ahead of the chain. 2nd down, 5 to go.
Drives are a lot easier when 1st down is 5 yards.
Seeing a lot of subs to the Ranger defense as well. Some hands on hips. They're getting a lot of work right now.
Having a little trouble identifying certain situations.
Well, that's the basic concept with this offense of Wagner's. Here's a dive up the middle, and again it's Butler, and takes the Ranger with him to the 15-yard line for another 1st down.
The problem there was we had missed tackles on the line. I think both that it looked like Pow and Elliott both had a chance to wrap him up and just couldn't do it.
And now the T-Birds inside the red zone, halfway through the 1st quarter, no score. A drive that began all the way back at their own 10-yard line. The Rangers nearly jump again, by the way, and Weaver gets in the play call. Out of the slot to offense from the Ranger 15. Throws, and the pass is caught out around the 10-yard line. Took a long time to get the ball there to DeMarcus Hendricks. Makes the catch, though. Good for 5 more yards. 2nd down, 5 to go.
So it really doesn't matter what play they call. They're getting 4 or 5 or 6 yards on every 1st down. And, again, that's the way to stay, as you said, ahead of the chains.
It's been tough to score the Rangers in the 1st quarter this year. Only 14 points given up in opening quarters this season. But now the Ranger 10-yard line, 2nd and 5. And this run up the middle yields a couple of more yards to the 8-yard line.
Boy,
big 3rd down coming up here, Tony.
Boy, I like Butler. He is really running with some authority. Hit Pow that time, and Manoa was able to slow him down enough that he didn't get much, but he really put his shoulder into him and bounced off enough to get another couple of yards.
Here we go. 3rd down, 3 to go. But again, this might be 4-down territory for the underdog Wagner Thunderbirds. And there is Butler, the freshman again, but that time Tony can't get the first down. Dropped at around the 7. And I got to think here, Coach Bruce goes for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah, I'm not real sure whether, I think it might have been Zillman who got him low and took his legs out. And it'll be 4th and short, and we'll see what they'll do.
This would be about a 24-yard field goal attempt, makeable, you would think, but Wagner's offense stays out there.
They haven't kicked the ball a whole lot this year.
They have not. In fact, no field goals made this season. This is not far from being an extra point, but it's all moot right now. 4th and 2. Rangers cannot jump here. Weaver trying to make them do that. They don't, and here is a flag anyway, but it's called against the Thunderbirds. Killer penalty against Wagner.
That time they moved, and that'll move them back, and perhaps a different decision is made on what they do on 4th down.
But now, again, for a team that hasn't really tried kicking the football a lot, this would be from 29 yards out. Don't think that would be within the range of Jackson Vale-Bolide, who is their extra point kicker. And they're going to talk about this timeout taken by Wagner. But again, Tony, Wagner's defense, like the offense, struggled in district play, but the best defense is a good offense, and Wagner has taken off 8 minutes off that clock. That's 8 minutes Smithson Valley's offense has not been on the football field.
And that's the best they can hope for tonight, is to have drives that are sustained as long as this one is.
I would think that's Wagner's only shot of this game. And so, assuming here Wagner does go for it, 4th down, 7 to go, an option-based offense. This would normally be a passing down. Don't know how comfortable they are calling a passing play. What do you call here, Tony, in this situation?
Obviously, I would think the fullback's out of it, even though he's had success, because 6 or 7 yards would be difficult. I think that what I've seen, their best runner is Weaver, so I'd figure a way to get him out to the edge and see if he can get it.
Take him to the outside, have a trailing back with him.
Oh, look at this. Here's a kicker.
Well, no, here we go. So it's viable lead out to attempt from about 29 yards away. This will be Wagner's first made field goal this year. On PATs this season, he's 11 of 14, but a penalty marker thrown first.
Has to be procedure from where it came, isn't it?
And so now another 5-yard penalty against Wagner, and this goes from being a 29-yard attempt to 34, and with that, Coach Bruce will call the field goal unit off the field.
Go back to offense.
Well, you talk about not being in your comfort zone here. Not only were you not thrilled about the field goal there if you're Wagner, you weren't, excited about possibly throwing the football on 4th and 7, but now it's 4th down and 12. And let's see if Weaver can make a play for the Thunderbirds. His big target is lined up on the wide side of the field, Josh Cobbs. And Weaver on the rollout. Now going to take off and run inside the 15, tripped up inside the 10. That won't do it. The Rangers get a turnover on down. Zuber, Romano, Coleman'sberger all there on defense. So Wagner, no points, but again, a minor victory for the Thunderbirds. They used a lot of clock, and the Smithson Valley drive will start inside of its own 10-yard line.
I think it's a little more than a small victory. I think if you can get Smithson Valley to start every drive from inside their own 10, you're going to have some success tonight. Now, none of us in this booth believe their defense is going to stop the Rangers very often tonight, but this is a good start for them, again, as you mentioned. 8 minutes gone, and you pin them back.
So our first look at Levi Williams tonight. The junior starting quarterback is 5-0 so far in his Ranger career. A high snap from center, but a nice run on the Rangers' first play of the night by Mark Franco. The graph on him is shooting up. The team's leading rusher coming into the night. Just a shade under 250 yards on the season. That one good for about 3 yards, bringing up 2nd down and 7.
Like the fact that he's averaging over 7 yards a carry. Positive for any running back, but you got to see what they want to do now deep in their own territory as they run the ball on 1st down.
And his breakout game came in the district opener against Steele. On 2nd and 7, Williams on the rollout throws a dart across the 25. Mason Pierce the catch. And a Ranger 1st down. The first throw of the game from Williams looked impressive.
And as he rolled to his right, Pierce made a nice cut off of his break and was wide open, an easy throw for Williams, and that was almost too easy with the receiver out there on the edge.
Think about just how balanced Smithson Valley's been on offense this season. They're averaging 188 yards on the ground per game, through the air, $192. This team can do it all. 3 minutes to go, first quarter, still no score. Ranger football, first down to the 27, high snap again. And as a result, the Ranger running back, Franco, was hit in the backfield. A flag did come in. And I think this is going to be offsides against Wagner.
It is.
But right now, Tony, an issue has to be the snaps for Alex Schaefer to Levi Williams.
There aren't many things this season that the Rangers have really worried about, but that's been one of them, that Levi's really having a hard time getting a quick look after the snap because he's chasing the ball.
You heard Tony mention there was no Trevon Merrick-Woodard out there defensively. Have yet to see him out on offense either. 1st and 5 now. It is a sweep for Pierce. Hurdles over one of his own blockers, Franco, and it takes about 7 Thunderbirds to bring him down, but not before he reaches a 34-yard line for a couple. That'll set up 2nd down and 3.
Just about a 4-yard run for 2 yards.
Yep.
That's okay. There was a whole crowd of defenders out there. I thought he was very fortunate to get the 2 yards he did.
So right now the receivers, minus Woodard on the field, Ricky Rios and Mason Pierce. 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line. And Williams getting in some late signals from the sideline. Relays those to the offensive line. Hand off to Franco in a big gaping hole. And takes it across the 40 to the 41 for 7 yards and another 1st down.
Good job by Bauer, Schaefer, and Hausler there to open up some space in the middle. Offensive line doing a great job this year, creating opportunities either through the run game or the passing game.
Look to the sidelines, by the way, and Woodard is in uniform. There's the number 44 across the way out around the Ranger 44-yard line. On 1st down, play fake for Williams and overshot his target by a wide margin of Dorsal Hunter. The tight end running a post over the middle, but not a good throw by Williams. 2nd and 10.
You know, we saw Williams overthrow a couple of receivers back 2 weeks ago when we played, and that throw was just far enough away that you almost thought he wasn't looking in the right spot.
Do note, by the way, Smithson Valley got out to kind of a slow start this last game against East Central. It was only 6-0 after 1, but the Rangers, of course, wound up winning 54-0. On 2nd and 10, play fake again, and a screen set up across the 45 and a 1st down and more, all the way down to the Wagner 41-yard line. On the catch, Chris Rivera, a name we have not called much this season, but gets his number called there for a big gainer.
The one thing we know about Rivera is he has a lot of speed because he's run several of those jet sweeps with some super kind of quickness.
Inside of 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, Wagner's first possession covered 80 yards but stalled out. A turnover on downs inside the Ranger 10. Smithson Valley on possession for the first time tonight and now marching to the Wagner 40-yard line. On 1st down, Rivera comes in motion. It is a sweep. A lot of room as well for Franco. Explodes across the 35-yard line and down to the 28. Nice blocking on the edge there by Smithson Valley.
Nice job of faking the jet sweep to the receiver, going to the opposite way and then running a sweep with Franco this way. Blocking was good up front as well.
And now Franco retying his shoe here as Williams sets up the offense. Rangers approaching the red zone. On 1st down, and Williams on the rollout. Throws, and that catch is made by Pierce, his 2nd grab of the series. Picks up about 4 yards there, 2nd down and 6.
Nice play on 1st down. If he looks to his next progression, which is Rios, about 10 yards further down the field, he was open as well, and that would have been a gain inside the 20.
Mason Pierce, 10 catches on the season coming into the night, tied for the team lead. Another one of those players like Rios, didn't play receiver a year ago, primarily cornerback, and now he's playing both ways this season. Final minute, first quarter. Rangers on the move at the Wagner 24-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Williams hands off to Franco, looking for an alley, and it's closed off. Good job there by Wagner's defense on the tackle. Cabron Clay, the sophomore. This is a pretty young Wagner football team as well. We should note that. Don't see a whole lot of seniors on the roster for the Thunderbirds.
Only 3 seniors listed among their starters, but yes, 2 sophomores on that defensive line, a junior and a senior. They've got some ability, just they've got to piece things together.
3rd and 7 for the Rangers. A lot of personnel changes here as well. Rios back in at receiver. Pierce is as well. Still no Woodard on this drive. 3rd and 7. And 4 wide for Williams. Here's the rush. Hit as he throws. Had an open man over the top. Pierce. Incomplete, but a penalty marker thrown. Was Wagner offsides?
I think it came late. I don't know if it was perhaps a hold.
It might be a legal shift, too, against Smithson Valley. Not sure if the man in motion came set. And now the officials talk things over. Illegal substitution against Smithson Valley.
Preliminary indication for penalty against the Rangers.
And so this would bring up 4th down and 7 from the 25-yard line, as Coach Bruce will decline. This would be a 42-yard attempt. The career long for Mason Reed is 40 yards out. But what do you do here, Tony? You're definitely too close to punt the football. So your choice is to go for it or attempt a field goal.
I probably would kick a field goal. Looks like they're going to go for it.
And they will. Well, we've seen the Rangers convert on 4th down before. Go all the way back to the season opener, right? Yep. Against Pflugerville-Hendrickson. Game-winning touchdown pass with 8 seconds to go. This situation not as dramatic. Williams to throw on 4th down. Over the middle, has a receiver. Hunter, the tight end, right at the sticks at the 17-yard line. Hunter was well covered, but Williams a better throw.
And Hunter did a nice job of working for that extra yard to get the first down by a yard as the quarter will come to an end.
And it will. Boy, the two offenses driving in the opening quarter, but still no points to show for it. Through 1 quarter of play, no score here in Converse. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network. Here we go. Tie ball game with just 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Rangers are looking to score. Here's a snap. Bayless, who is wide open down the near sideline. And he makes a catch at the 10, the 5, touchdown. My goodness, what a play, and the Rangers win.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics,
and welcome back to Converse. No scores. We start the second quarter. First play of the second quarter is a Ranger touchdown. A strike over the middle. Levi Williams to Adorzal Hunter. His 3rd catch on the drive, and the Rangers go over 90 yards to score the game's first points.
Adorzal Hunter is a guy that I picked out a couple of weeks ago that I said in the passing game he's going to get big catches because I just think he's that kind of receiver. That's a big catch to get on the board.
His 3rd touchdown catch this season. Hunter, a big target, 6 feet, 195. And again, Williams looked his way quite a bit on that first Ranger drive of the game. Read on for the PAT, and Smithson Valley is on top. 7-0, 3 seconds into the second quarter. And Tony, looking back at that drive, it was a lot, again, of Levi Williams making some throws.
And I think they found with the enormous number of offensive sets and plays that they have to their disposal, they are finding open receivers. If Levi has time and the scheme works so that he can get it to him, I think they're going to have a lot of success tonight.
Let's not forget, though, the Wagner's offense did look good to start this game as well. There have only been 2 possessions in this game, one for Wagner, one for Smithson Valley. Wagner's drive began back at its own 10-yard line, and they were able to get the ball inside the 10. The drive, though, from there stalled out and it resulted in a turnover on downs. So Smithson Valley defensively, Tony, has some adjustments to make.
They do, and what they're going to have to continue to face all night long against this spread option type of offense is just it's assignments, assignments, assignments. Every guy has to do what he's been taught to do this week if you're going to be able to capture the different 3 or 4 phases of this offense.
Again, the Rangers tonight looking for a 6-0 start. They have started 6-0 8 times in the Coach Hill era. Their last 6-0 start came back in 2014. That year, they didn't lose their first game until the opening round of the playoffs. And Reed's kickoff sails out of bounds. Not a good kick there by the senior kicker, and Wagner will start at his own 35-yard line, down 7-0. Wagner, meanwhile, 3-2 and looking for his first district win. And we know this too, Tony, that it is tough to catch up in 27-6A play. If you get off to an 0-2 start, even 1-2, even if Wagner wins this game tonight, with the 2 losses, with teams like Judson and Steele yet to play, and New Braunfels as well, throw them in there, it's hard to climb that ladder.
Yeah, they've played in this district. You have Steele, you have Smithson Valley, and you have Judson every year that you know will be near the top. They haven't played. This is their first game against those 3, and this is their 3rd game of district play.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for Weaver and the Wagner offense. And on first down, it is a run, and a nice run at that, cutting to the outside, staying upright across the 40-yard line, spinning his way down to the 47 is Carlton Black. What a run, finally dragged down there by Alex Flores. Black, in 2 district games prior against Canyon and Clemens, 5 total carries for 23 yards, but tonight he's looked apart.
And not to be remotely critical, but if we continue to leave our feet to make tackles, it's going to be hard to bring their running backs down.
And that one good for 17 yards. On first down, Weaver hands off to his freshman fullback. Powers inside of midfield to the 47. L.J. Butler, and this duo, Butler and Black, has Wagner's offense looking pretty impressive so far. That one good for 6 yards. 2nd down, 4 to go. And now Ranger is slow to get up.
Woodard is back in the game, by the way, or is on the field for the first time in this series.
So he did not play in the first quarter, but now playing here in the second. And the Ranger down is Trey Witcher, their sophomore defensive tackle, 5'10", 215, has started every game this season and is right now being looked at by the training staff.
He's been solid. He's been one of the, I think, more protective interior defensive linemen that the Rangers have had this season.
Now, no team at this stage of the year has a clean bill of health. Teams get banged up, nature of the game, but injuries have certainly played their role in the Rangers this season. We know about the running back situation. Frash and Nick Aiken have both gone up and walked towards the sideline. Good sign there. We don't see Will Gibbons, a middle linebacker, tonight. Tough to lose players of that caliber.
There's no doubt that the Rangers are playing with some backups tonight because of injury.
So Wagner, 2 possessions of both times they've cracked Ranger territory. 2nd and 4 now from the Smithson Valley 47. And here's Weaver going to work. Keeps it himself. Slicing inside the Ranger defense and down to the 47 before Keeler is able to bring him down. And not much of a lane to run through there for Weaver, but found one and picks up the 1st down.
I think one of the problems right now, too, is our secondary is making a lot of tackles. Ethan Sill in on that one. They're getting deep. You know, they're getting through the offensive line. Their schemes are working really well right now.
This point for Wagner after a poor showing on offense 2 weeks ago. On first down, a dive up the middle, and that time the Rangers read that, and Keeler strips the football away and takes it for himself at the 43-yard line. Wagner's 10th turnover this season, as Smithson Valley's offense is now back. Fact, that is the 7th Ranger turnover. Keeler's quietly had a really good season.
He has, with numbers on almost every category, including leading the team with 43 tackles.
Remember that 4-sack game he had against zone. Touchdown, Smithson Valley. 57 yards to Trevon Merrick Woodard.
I'm just watching. The best thing about that whole play is that Levi Williams got up because he took a shot after he let go of that ball and still got it far enough down the field that Woodard, who had already outrun the secondary, didn't have to break stride and took it into the end zone.
That's Woodard's 10th catch this year, his 10th. His yardage total is 267 yards. Easy math there, 27 yards a catch. 10:26 to go, first half. Smithson Valley on top, 14-0. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Added to fresh, never.
First half, Smithson Valley on top, 14-0. Levi Williams so far 2 possessions to lead this Ranger offense.
Hunter on.
And we do see 2 very dangerous returnmen back deep for the Rangers on this punt. Angled towards Ricky Rios and makes an over-the-shoulder catch to the 25 on the return. Has a block of the outside, turns a corner, across the 40, still running, and out of bounds right around midfield. So that punt for Wagner nets them about a total of 4 yards, thanks to a great return of about 27 yards there by Ricky Rios.
And you got to like the fact that they angled it clear away from what you would expect to be a normal return area. It's just that Ricky Rios just read the coverage and outran it.
And now the Ranger offense comes back out already on top, 14-0, approaching the halfway point of this second quarter. Williams so far an impressive game against the Thunderbirds. Going to work again on a throw. Has Rivera, who has some blocks inside the 35-yard line and out of bounds at the 30. Another big Ranger pickup. That one about 20 yards there. And Smithson Valley's offense picking up where left off a couple of weeks ago. Brant Freeman, Tony Brubaker, Jeff Gandy all here with you on this Friday night from Converse. And by the way, we should note, Smithson Valley will be right back here in a short amount of time, about 3 weeks from now, to take on the Judson Rockets.
That'll be a different look.
It will, as the Rangers are whistled for a false start. Wiped out a running chance there for Greg Eggleston, who was moved from backup corner. Still plays there, but now featured in the backfield as well, relieving Mark Franco. Smithson Valley's running back group is banged up. Eggleston, though, comes out here to bring up 1st and 15.
So like we said last week, or 2 weeks ago when we played East Central at home, a lot of backups are going to get a chance to play tonight because of the situation.
Now 1st and 15 for the Wagner 35. Williams on the keeper. Has some room up the middle. Spinning inside the 30 to the 28. Picks up 7. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8. You look at the second quarter this year, Smithson Valley has been dominant with a capital D. They've outscored their opponent 74-10 in the second. In the third quarter, 61-6. So these middle quarters, Smithson Valley is taking the game out of reach. And so far, 14-0 in the second quarter against Wagner. Here is Eggleston on the sweep, trying to turn the corner, and squirts out of bounds at around the 17 for 2 more. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
It seems to be that the playbook continues to expand. The Ranger offense is running anything and everything they can just to make sure to keep these guys checked in and locked in.
But I would think, Tony, you brought up the possibility of going deep into the roster tonight if the game gets out of hand. You don't want to show your hand too much at a game that you're probably going to win.
And I say the number of plays, it's the plays we've seen already this year, which have been a number of them, as they continue to show different formations, and I think that's what Larry Hill likes to do.
Little option play here at 3rd and 7, and Williams gets out of trouble, has a block of the outside from Franco, but I think the Rangers will be flagged for an illegal block as Levi does pick up the first of the 20-yard line, but it might be coming back.
Trying to see. He went down low for the knees, and I don't know if that might have been the problem.
They actually marked Williams at the 23. He would be short of the first down here. But I have to imagine Coach Bruce would accept this penalty.
Yeah.
And there's the call.
So they're going to take the penalty and push him back.
We mentioned the district earlier, and again, a lot of games happening right now tonight. Canyon hosting Clemens, a game that can be followed on CougarsNetwork.com. Steele hosting New Braunfels, and Judson, a gimme game at East Central this evening. And so you would think the Rockets would be 6-0 next, or by this time next week, and 3-0 in district play. Clemens also playing a favorable game. They too could be 6-0 and 3-0 in the district. And so there might not be much movement in the standings by the end of the night. On third down and long, Williams taking a shot deep into double coverage. The catch, though, was made in bounds. It was touchdown, Smithson Valley. My goodness, what a throw by Levi Williams right to Mason Pierce.
Double coverage. Mason Pierce just waited for the ball to come over his shoulder and just cuddled it right on the sideline and made a great catch on a great throw by Williams.
I mean, you see two defenders there. You have such a long way to throw the football. Remember, that snap came from the right hash and makes it all the way to the opposite side of the field, right into the waiting arms of Mason Pierce. PAT Mason Reed is good. Everything coming up Mason right now. 5:23 to go until halftime. Rangers on top, 21-0. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
And welcome back to Rutledge Stadium. Smithson Valley on top, 21-0. A 3-touchdown night for quarterback Levi Williams to 3 different receivers. The kickoff return fumbled by Wagner across the 20, but the Thunderbirds get back on it. There were 2 flags thrown, by the way, back at the 32. Could be holding against Wagner. And again, the way the game started, the Thunderbirds had it feel pretty good, a really nice opening drive, kept the Ranger offense off the football field. But since that turnover on downs, Smithson Valley's offense got its first shot, and they have not let up since then.
Agreed. The funny thing to me is they got tired of guys not catching the kickoff, so they put Black back there, their best running back, who I don't believe has been on kick coverage before, or kick receiving before. He caught the ball at least, but then fumbled it as he came up the field, but they get called for holding, and then they'll end up back in a hole.
Tony, we have to go back to that throw by Levi Williams. 3rd down, 15 from the Wagner 35-yard line. How did he make that throw to Mason Pierce?
It's just spectacular. Not just the way that the Rangers are passing the ball, but the throws Levi Williams is making.
On 1st down, Weaver on the option pitch to the far side and out in space, making the play. Coleman'sberger for the Rangers. No gain on the carry by Gerald Walker.
The first play tonight I've seen in their spread option that seemed to take forever to get there. Everything else has been quick and been able to be, I don't want to say deceptive, but they've been able to put a play in play that gets the ball to the line of scrimmage quickly. That was a pitch that was a couple seconds after the snap, and he was way out deep in his own backfield.
2nd and 10 now from the 14. And Weaver looking to throw, pressured, getting through trouble, but the Rangers finally bring him down, and there again on another play, Coleman'sberger for Smithson Valley. The front four, good push up front. Third and long coming up for this option-heavy offense.
It was Keeler who came in and forced him up in the pocket to give those other guys a chance for a tackle, but Keeler got there first to take the opportunity to throw away.
Boy, Smithson Valley's defense has been just suffocating here in 27-6A play since about the first quarter against Steele, and from then on out, Rangers have been dominant. Quarterback run by Weaver, takes it across the 20, that's all. Short of the first down marker on a fourth down, I would think. Wagner's punted the football back.
You would think.
And here comes the punting unit. Don't see a lot of kickers in the traditional sense, by the way, for Wagner. You have Cedric Hernandez, the punter. There you see him playing defensive end.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a punter's built to him, 250 pounds. And the place kicker, Joskin Bolid, is sitting at 240 himself. And here is Hernandez's punt. And Woodard on a bounce will let it go. And rolls, tight roping the sideline, but marked out at the 38-yard line.
Trayvon's become very intelligent of when to go up and catch a ball and when to let it go. A lot of them are questionable, and a lot of fans will say, well, why didn't he catch that ball? It cost the Rangers 10 more yards because he let it bounce. Well, there's a defender right there. Why take a chance of a collision and a possible fumble and all those kind of things to see he knew the ball was near the sideline and it wasn't going to go very far.
That a 42-yard punt by Hernandez. Rangers on top, 21-zip. Winding down the second quarter clock, 3:17 to go. And Levi Williams has been near perfect so far tonight. Operates out of the pistol here on first down. It is a run for Franco, bouncing off a tackle, but then it's Michael Turbin who slams him down to the 36 for a loss of a couple of yards. Second down and 12.
The Rangers' ability to run the ball has not been enormously successful tonight. Their defensive line and linebackers have limited the ability to run. It's just their secondary hasn't been able to stop the passing game. And they haven't been able, the defensive front, to put enough pressure on Levi Williams to slow him down.
Second and long now from the 36. Snap to Williams. They screen for Woodard. Evades two defenders, still running, trying to cut it back to the inside, and Wagner's defense converges and makes the play at around the 40. A lot of action there for 4 yards. Third down, 9 to go, but based on what we've seen tonight, Tony, third down and 9, 15, 27, doesn't seem to be an issue for Smithson Valley's offense.
I will say this, though, on this particular series, as we're in the last couple of minutes of the half, they have shown a greater ability to run to the ball than I've seen the whole game.
Third down, 8 to go from the 40-yard line. Now Woodard out there at receiver again. Flags thrown first. False start, Smithson Valley. If there was a mark on this game against the Rangers, they've committed a few more penalties than Coach Hill would like so far this evening.
That seems to be something that we've said a lot this season, that the little senseless penalties of illegal procedure, and that's just concentration and focus.
But again, third and long has not been problem territory for the Rangers tonight. Third and 13 from the 35. Williams to throw. On the rollout, being chased by Turbin, outruns him, and dives up for the first down. Levi Williams in the pocket, out the pocket, making plays all night.
Nice run. He saw the numbers, and I think he read the fact that he had a better chance of getting a first down with his legs this time than throwing the ball and taking a chance of putting it somewhere he shouldn't. And he got a nice block at the end to get those extra couple of yards.
And now the Rangers, with the clock winding towards the minute to go in the hurry up here, they do have all 3 timeouts left from midfield. Williams back to throw again. Good protection, taking a shot deep for Woodard. Great throw, but batted away just at the last moment by the sophomore corner of Vontae Stevens. Second and 10 following a really nice play by Wagner secondary.
He's among the team leaders with 7 passes defended. That's another one for him there as it looked like the ball was getting into Woodard's hands, and he just got a finger on it at the last minute to make it an incomplete pass. He was beat on the play.
It was another great throw, too, by the way. Perfect spiral, right where Woodard can make the catch, not where the defender could intercept the ball either. On 2nd and 10 from midfield. Whistles first. And another penalty pre-snap against Smithson Valley for a false start.
On the Rangers, 5-yard penalty, moves it back to the 45.
I said moments ago on that last throw to Woodard, by the way, how good the protection was. I don't know if we've talked about that enough this season. Williams making great throws, but you need time to make them.
No doubt about it. With a senior-laden offense, 4 of the 5 seniors, I think that they have made it possible for Williams to be as effective as he's been this year.
And I think Ronald Copney, who is the only junior on the offensive line, 6'5", 280, he has a bright future ahead of him.
No doubt about that.
And here's a timeout called by the Rangers with the clock stopped, 36 seconds to go, on top by a score of 21-0. Well, don't forget next week, right back here on the Rangers Network, but back at Smithson Valley High School, the Rangers will take on the Clemens Buffaloes, provided they win tonight against Canyon. Tony, you're looking at a matchup next week. Should Smithson Valley hold on to win, 2 6-0 teams, 2 teams both 3-0 in district play, and assuming Judson beats East Central, both teams next week will be trying to keep pace with those Rockets.
There's no doubt about this league has kind of maneuvered itself into a situation where, well, the Rangers are going to face the best. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and they're going to face those teams in front of them. Clemens, then you play Canyon, and then you have Judson. Clemens at home, Judson on the road. Again, if you want to win the district, you got to beat the best of the district.
Yeah, the game here at this stadium in week 1 was one of the more entertaining games we've seen in Texas high school football this season. On the topic of Judson, they played reigning state champion Lake Travis, who the Rangers, of course, saw in the postseason a year ago. Judson won the game 66-42. That team has been scary good this season behind quarterback Julian Williams, a 4-year starter at quarterback. 2nd and 15 out of the timeout from their own 45. 4 wide for Williams, throws all over the middle to Hunter. His 4th catch tonight is tackled inside of midfield of the 49. Clock is ticking, 40 seconds and counting. And the Rangers didn't get set. This will back him up 5 more yards again.
Illegal procedure against the Rangers.
Doesn't help you a whole lot to hurry up if you can't complete the scenario of getting set.
Back to the 45-yard line, repeat 3rd down.
3rd down, 15. Snap back to Williams. Taking a shot to the near side, but short hop the throw for Pierce. Pass rush coming in heavily there by Cabron Clay of Wagner, and the Rangers for the first time punting tonight. Well, again, Wagner's got some athletes up front in the defensive front 4. Clay is one of them, and again, only a sophomore. Another is Hernandez, whose name you brought up earlier, perhaps their best defensive player. And a good pass rush that time by Wagner. And here is the punt from Brance Anderson. And was there a fair catch signal? I don't think there was, but now the officials marking the ball dead of the 22. It was picked up by Smithson Valley. By the way, good news, that was Trey Witcher recovering the would-be fumble. Is it Smithson Valley football? It is. No touchdown there for Witcher, but, boy, the Wagner returner did not call for the fair catch. As a result, he was absolutely blasted as he got to the football. It came loose, and the Rangers recover.
Who was down?
I think they're going to say that when the ball was recovered by Witcher, perhaps his knee was down.
Okay.
We don't have the aid of replay up here in the booth. Can't confirm one way or the other. But, Tony, the bottom line is the Rangers still have a shot for points here with 20 seconds to go in the half.
And another special teams blunder.
Another one. And Williams and the offense back at it again. on first down. And Williams wanting to take a shot. He will towards end zone, and that shot is successful. A strike to Woodard over the middle, his second touchdown tonight. Turnovers.
You know, the funny thing is there's two defenders that are with him. They're just not
good enough to stay with him.
They're just not putting up much of a defense.
But to be fair, not many corners can stay with Woodard, a future TCU Horned Frog. Out for the PAT is Reed. The third turnover tonight by Wagner. The PAT for Reed is good. There was a turnover on downs. If you count that as a turnover, the second official turnover. So Smithson Valley now in district play. The defense has recovered 8 turnovers. The offense has not committed 1. They are +8 so far in nearly 2.5 27-6A games.
We talked about early in the season taking care of the ball. Because, we know that that's what happens in football. You have to take care of it. Last year's numbers taking care of the ball, not as good as I think Rangers had liked it. This year, off to a great start. The plus-minus is now, +10. And part of it is not dropping the ball on the grass. And that's what they've been very good at this year.
Well, speaking of district dominance, Levi Williams now in 2.5 district games, his touchdown-interception ratio is 10-0. And 4 touchdowns so far tonight. In fact, as many touchdowns as incompletions this evening. And Wagner staring at an 0-3, 27-6A start. That is a death knell in this district. A squib kick picked up there at the 30-yard line by the Thunderbirds. And that was Butler, the freshman, picking it up. And Wagner takes over with 12 seconds to go. And again, Smithson Valley will also get possession to start this third quarter. Again, the game started well for Wagner offensively, but beyond the game's first, let's call it 7 minutes, there's been nothing for Wagner to feel good about.
I agree. They have, the spread option offense has had some success, but they can't string enough good plays together to get the ball up the field again.
Should be time for one more play in this half. And Weaver on this one play. We'll head it off up the middle. Nice run here. Butler cutting it outside. Still running inside the 40. And finally dragged down by Flores with 4 seconds to go, the 36-yard line. And, I'll take a step back of what I said. While that opening drive is good for Wagner, not much else. I will say, though, this freshman, L.J. Butler, he's been good the entire half.
I think they called a timeout.
They have, I would think here, Tony, 4 seconds to go. You're not going to attempt what would be a 53-yard field goal here. Set up a shot of the end zone by Weaver and see what you can get out of it.
Can he throw it that far? That's
a great question. We don't know.
I'm puzzled by the timeout versus just a play call. The ball was out of bounds. The clock has stopped. Just make a play call and run another one of your plays. I mean, I don't think you expected your fullback to run it for 30 yards as he just did. So, do you do that again? Do you get it on the edge, which is, I think, again, in big yardage situations, they need to get the ball to the perimeter with their speed and quickness they have. It'll be interesting to see what they come out of the timeout with.
And I would assume we'll see Smithson Valley secondary play deep here, expecting a shot to the end zone. And Weaver leads them out. And the Ranger corners and safeties playing off the ball by about 10 or 15 yards. And here we go, probably time for one more play. And Weaver buying time on the rollout. Can't throw it now, takes off to run, picks up a couple before Zuber chops him down, and that will do it. A dominant second quarter by Smithson Valley has put the Rangers on top, 28-0, heading into halftime.
Interesting play call. Both Black and Combs, their best receiver, their best running back, were out to the right and ran up the field. It's obvious Butler's not a receiver, though, because all he did was run up the field and he didn't do anything to get open, and that was Weaver's problem, is no one got open.
And we have hit halftime here in Converse. All Rangers your score. Smithson Valley 28, Wagner nothing. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelic, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sandejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, man?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
And welcome back to Converse. Your score at the half, all Smithson Valley on top of the Thunderbirds by a score of 28-0. And now this time at our halftime coverage, we go down to the field for the playing of the Smithson Valley Marching Band.
Tonight, the Ranger Band will be performing their 2017 UILL entitled Revolution. The show will feature music from Chester, Broadway musical Les Mis, Freedom by George Michael, as well as Mad World by Tears for Fears, and Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. Please welcome the 2017 Ranger Band.
And that again, the performance at halftime by the Smithson Valley Marching Band. Your score at the half, Rangers 28, Thunderbirds nothing. More halftime coverage coming up. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
In college football, you don't have the luxury of looking ahead. Every Saturday's a different way of destroying your season. They'll make the ground shake. They'll make your eyes burn. They'll show you hate and disrespect unlike anything you've ever seen. Don't think about January when there's a Wolverine coming for your face in September. The biggest game, the only game, is the one you're playing.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Coach, ready to keep this thing going? All right, welcome back to the Inside Rangers Football Studios. Brent Freeman with Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. We have a lot of fun in the show, namely with Senior Moments. So here's Emily with this week's version of Senior Moments with the Ranger players.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. Today I am here with Caesar, Dylan, Jack, and Jordan. And you know, Caesar, I heard you've got a pretty cool talent. What is that? How did you figure out you could do that? Oh my goodness. So is that like, I don't even understand. What is it? Like your knuckle, just like your joints moving? Oh my goodness. Can you give the camera a close-up of that? Does he do that all the time, y'all?
It's the first time.
Oh, he's been hiding that.
I can also do this.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. So Dylan, what do you think the world would be like if animals could talk?
I have no idea.
What do you think? Do you have a dog at home?
I do.
And what do you think he would say to you?
I don't know what she would say. Tell me to let her out, feed her, all the time. Constant attention.
Yeah?
I don't know what else.
You have no idea. When you look at her, does she look like she's thinking anything sometimes?
I don't know. Yeah.
So Jack, you're a senior this year. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
Honestly, probably focus more on school.
Oh yeah? on the learning end of it?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your favorite subject?
Probably math.
Math?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, have you had a favorite math teacher?
Yeah. I really liked Coach Ulbrich and then Miss Blair for geometry and algebra.
Oh, very good. So Jordan, do you think aliens actually exist?
I mean, if they did exist, I would be in a bunker somewhere. I wouldn't want to be outside knowing aliens existed.
So you would be absolutely terrified?
Yes, I would. Knowing that there's some movies about aliens I can't even stand to watch, yeah, I wouldn't be able to bear it now.
So you think that the Hollywood's portrayal of aliens is what they would be like?
Oh, probably even worse.
What if they were really nice and had cool things to teach us?
They'd probably just do nothing, take a roll over.
Caesar, if you could take two animals and combine them to make one really awesome animal, what two animals would it be?
A hedgehog and an armadillo.
A hedgehog and an armadillo. What would that look like?
terror.
Pure terror. Jack, if you had to pick a favorite superhero that was a girl, who would it be?
Probably Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Have you seen the new movie?
No, I haven't, but I really want to.
Looks good. I haven't seen it either. Why do you like Wonder Woman?
I don't know. I think she's like, kind of like Captain America to me, but like, you know.
But like a girl.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's my theory. There's all these superheroes, and some of them get bit by spiders, and you know, some of them get like poison ivy all over them. Superman and Wonder Woman, right? They're like the only two that were born superheroes, right? So, like, she's legit. How often does coffee get whipped cream added to it? An awful latte. That's good, right? All right, well, Caesar, Dylan, Jack, and Jordan, thanks for being here with me today. Coach Brant, back to you.
Rangers. Tom Brady, that's a mic drop. This is football, and this is how it is. Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
Get closer to the action like never before with NASCAR Race Hub on FS1. At the track.
Looks like Superman won.
In the shop.
Catching up with Joey Logano.
On the headsets and behind the scenes.
Every night, the place to be.
All season long.
Hear the story from the drivers who lived it.
That's how tough the track was to drive.
And get the ultimate setup from the legends of the sport.
You can't script it. There's certain things out of your control.
NASCAR Race Hub. All season long on FS1.
Welcome to Rangers Network. Technology has changed the way coaches and players prepare for their upcoming opponents. This is one example. The days of having to watch game film at the field house have been replaced with online video libraries and play scripting software that can be accessed from mobile devices or home computers. Rangers Network went behind the scenes and got a glimpse at some new technologies helping Smithson Valley bring home the win on Friday night. There's a new buzz at Ranger Stadium, literally, and it's coming from overhead. Practice film is now shot from a few hundred feet above the turf from drones.
Well, the views that we get from these cameras versus seeing just one angle from the backside in the stands, now I can be on top and I can see where the offense, what read the offense is giving me and where my head, you can see where your head turns, you can see where your eyes should be. And so this film has been great for us as far as teaching tools. So we'll go there, and then we'll go the next, so we have 4, 7, 8, 9 seconds together. We're gonna try to get 4 seconds with this battery, and then we're gonna switch out every second, and we'll get them on the chargers first.
Basically, we have these drones that we fly, and we film every play that they need us to film, and so they watch it later on in the day and learn from what we film.
Yeah, and these football players can help with their, like, it helps their technique and all, like, the plays that they do.
What's fun about it is like she said, just flying a drone and you can get like that angle, and it's really cool to see like the different angles you can get from being like an aerial view above the players. It's just like something different that I never thought I would be doing.
On the field, you'll also see remote-controlled tackling dummies that simulate game speed without the physical pounding that takes a toll on the player's body. And technology continues in the weight room as well. Workout cycle software and monitors on every wall make the player's time in the weight room much more efficient and productive. Rangers now can know when to lift and when to rest to increase gains and spend more time on the field or watching game films. Now you can use some technology of your own. Get your phones out. Text the word Rangers to 42828 and you can join the Rangers Network for more stories like this one, plus links to game night radio broadcasts, Inside Rangers football, and much more.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No sir, I'm Steve, with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came here to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
When is shoe shopping more than just shoe shopping? When it's shoe shopping for a cure. Shop QVC presents Fanny Shoes on Sale. You'll find beautiful shoes by top designers, all at 50% off. And every purchase benefits breast cancer research and education. Great shoes for a great cause. What's not to love? Tune in Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Shop all October long at QVC.com.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Stream live episodes of your favorite shows on the Food Network app. Download the app and watch the latest shows for free.
Who's got it? The chance to become a Food Network star.
Well, you know I gotta check it out.
Because you're in control.
Let's get these baskets open. Whose dish is on the chopping block?
Your shows.
Well done.
When and where you want them.
It's a life lesson. I'm putting your creative intelligence to the test today.
Wow.
Action.
Stream now on your favorite devices.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and is hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Here we go, tie ball game with just 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Rangers are looking to score. Here's a snap. Bayless, who is wide open down the near sideline. And he makes a catch at the 10, the 5, touchdown. My goodness, what a play, and the Rangers win.
Experience the best seat in every ballpark with MLB Network Strike Zone. Catch baseball's biggest moments from around the league live on one channel.
You gotta be kidding me.
See the clutch hits,
It's a goner.
great grabs,
Unbelievable.
and walk-off winners,
Game winner.
all without changing the channel.
Let's go home.
Bring home MLB Network Strike Zone. Tuesday and Friday nights, commercial-free all season long.
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelec, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sandejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, We're going to get them on the run. We're going to keep them on the run. Then we're going to go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, man?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
And welcome back to Converse, Texas, ready for the start of the second half. Smithson Valley on top 28-0 after a dominant first half turned in by Ranger quarterback Levi Williams and Smithson Valley's stout defense.
And this is, again, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is this first series with the starting offense, and then after that it'll be everybody gets a chance. And that's, we're in week 6 of the season, and those backups have played a lot of minutes this season already, and we talk about this all the time. Depth is so critical in high school football because you never know when you're one snap away from that backup offensive right guard from being on the field, and it's good to know that through these 6 weeks that those guys who are on the second team have had plenty of chances to play.
The Rangers kicked off to start the game and now get the ball to start this third quarter.
Oh.
A short kick, fair catch called for, goes off the hands of Zuber and picked up by a heads-up Mason Pierce at the 43-yard line.
Well, a fair catch means you can't hit him, and
that's right.
He got hit.
And that, by the way, heads-up play there by Zuber to make that call, Tony. How many players don't have the wherewithal to do that?
So not only will they have the ball at it says 46 right now, they'll get, I don't know if that's a 10 or a 15-yard penalty, but they'll get some extra yardage out of that.
Well, the Rangers will start inside of midfield. They won the field position battle heavily in that first half. Their first drive, the Rangers did start behind their own 10. After that, it seemed as if they were starting near midfield or inside of it. And here they will open the third quarter at the Wagner 39-yard line.
Be interesting to see what Levi Williams and the offense does on this series. Whether it's more of a run-oriented, keep the clock moving kind of thing.
On first down from the 39, it is a run, running left. Eggleston powers inside the 30. Turns the legs up to the 26. 13-yard pickup for Greg Eggleston, only a sophomore, 5'10", 155, and played about 40 pounds over his weight right there.
You know, it's fun, 8 carries, 43 yards. I think those all came in the last game. We saw some good signs from him when running the ball a couple of weeks ago, and he's got the ability to be a difference maker on that side.
Remains in the backfield here on first down. From the Wagner 26, third quarter just underway. And Williams will throw it and nearly intercepted. Dangerous throw there by Williams. The defender, if he looks for the football, locates it. Aldo Cuellar, that's a pick six the other way. The Rangers catch a break.
And as you look at their defense, Cuellar's kind of out there, not to the receivers, but in that gap. My thought more to protect for, a sweep that way with a running back or something. But he ran right in the passing lane. He's got a pick six in front of him if he sees it and catches it.
And the Rangers dodge a bullet. Still no turnovers committed in district play this year. Woodard, the motion man, takes the handoff. A block from Eggleston, trying to stem it outside, but the Thunderbirds drag him down for a loss. Back at around the 30. Michael Turbin and Juan Aboites on the stop, and the Rangers have a third down and 14 now coming up.
They have been, as I've said repeatedly, running to the ball effectively. Now, the Rangers have not had a ton of yards running the ball, and yet their secondary hasn't been able to cover our receivers, so you got to believe that they're going to throw the ball down the field.
Trips formation here on third down and 14 from the 30. Woodard to get in motion. It is a run to Eggleston. Has some blocks to the outside, turns a corner inside the 20, last one out of bounds, just shy of the first to the 19-yard line, gain of 11, now 4th and 3.
Probably close enough that they'll go for it, don't you think?
I would think so too, Tony. This is well within Mason Reed's range.
Right.
But with the down and distance situation being what it is, I think they'll go for it here.
And you'd rather have the clock running, but
and they will go for it. 4th and 3. And Williams will look back to the sidelines, relays a call to the offensive line. Here we go, 4th down, 3 to go. Run for Eggleston up the middle, and he's got it up to the 15-yard line. It seemed like first contact was there prior to the yard to gain, but Eggleston fought through.
What I really like about him, and I remember this from 2 weeks ago, he has great vision. He catches the ball, his eyes are up. He saw someone in front of him, and he jump hopped to the right and then spurted forward and ended up getting enough for a first down. And you know, running backs are all different, made different ways. He's got great vision, though, and speed.
Now first down for the Wagner 15-yard line. First possession, 3rd quarter. Rangers on top, 28-zip. Eggleston's number called again. Breaking tackles, fighting for the pylon, diving for it, but marked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. You know, it doesn't matter who the Rangers have had in the backfield this season. Nick Aiken, Darlington Frash, Mark Franco, now Greg Eggleston. Everybody has been able to run the football effectively.
Says something about your offensive line, doesn't it?
It really does. A group we highlighted earlier. At that time, Eggleston taking it off the left side behind the blocks of Jesse Clifton and John Bauer. And now goal to go inside the 5-yard line. Hand off Eggleston, no surprise there. He's earned that right. Up ahead and across the plane for another Ranger touchdown.
He's got some kind of want to. He runs with a fury of effort and got in the end zone, even though I think he was hit at the line of scrimmage.
His second rushing touchdown this year, and Smithson Valley able to march a short field in less than 2 minutes to add to its lead. And here's Reed out for the PAT. Perfect so far tonight. And perfection continues. Kick is good. It's all good for the Rangers. 10:01 to go, 3rd quarter. Smithson Valley 35, Wagner nothing. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the pennant chase.
Devastating slider. Leaping grab. That's number 3.
Closer to the epic moments.
That ball is gashed out to center. And a dive and a catch.
Closer to the critical plays.
Now you can use your hands more. Now I go into a fine focus. Boom.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, bringing you closer to the pennant chase.
This is it.
On MLB Network, home of 2 American League Division Series games.
And welcome back to Converse. Smithson Valley on top, 35-zip. Moments ago, Greg Eggleston, a 2-yard touchdown run. Big drive for the young running back, the sophomore. Picked up a 4th down as well on the drive. Was the only ball carrier, in fact, on that first 3rd quarter possession for Smithson Valley.
See kick coverage again for the Rangers.
Well, Reed has been busy kicking the football off tonight. And this fielded at the 18. Returner trying to run wide and can't. Dominic Parks looking for an alley to the outside, but there is Zuber to close it off. And the Thunderbirds start behind their own 20. Down by a bunch here for a Wagner team again that started the year 3-0. Very first game of the season, a thriller and a win over Laredo United South, 41-38. And Tobias Weaver scored the game-winning touchdown with 23 seconds to go on a run. In Week 2, Wagner a winner over Taft. In Week 3, came back from 21-7 down to beat Marshall. So, Tony, after non-district play, this football team is feeling pretty good about itself.
Then they got into district.
And then 27-6 they began. A 38-13 loss to Canyon, 23-0 2 weeks ago against Clemens. Running left
counter.
to 20-25, and this one could go the distance. Carlton Black finally tripped up inside the 35-yard line. Came up lame there. Boy, he had forever to run, but just ran out of gas. But a big gain all the way down to the 32 in Ranger territory.
I like Carlton Black and the way he runs, but I'm afraid on that one he just ran out of gas. He probably hadn't run the ball 60 yards down the field many times this season.
His longest run of the season. Now, Wagner's hit some home runs this year, 3 of their touchdowns from 50 yards or further out. As Weaver goes under center for the Ranger 32. First down plays, a dive up the middle. There's Butler again. Zuber another tackle, but we've called his name so much tonight. After a 7-yard run, sets up 2nd and 3.
The Butler, the fullback, the run is just it's the bread and butter of the option. If you get like they have over 5 yards in every first down, it makes everything else easier.
Wagner did threaten a couple of times in the first half, but didn't score. Took the ball inside the 10 of their first possession. Turnover on downs. Here is Butler. And again, he's just a load to bring down. It finally dropped by Zillman at around the 23, close to the first down. And 3rd and short now coming up for the Thunderbirds.
You know, the long run by Black was that slot back counter that they ran once in the first half. Be interesting to see as this game goes along if they pull out some more of those counter type runs that this spread option allows you.
3rd down, yard to go. Rangers loading the box up right now. 8:20 to go, 3rd quarter. Smithson Valley on top comfortably, 35-0. And Weaver changing the call. Play clock winding down. And off to Butler. And Powers for the first down to the 19-yard line. Whatever the outcome of this game is for Wagner, and likely going to be a loss, they do have to feel really good about this freshman fullback, L.J. Butler.
I think he's looked remarkable tonight, and he's had a couple of games where he's had some good yardage runs. In fact, the last game I think he had over 100 yards, so he's proven himself well.
In fact, he was called up to the team after non-district play was over. Played on the freshman team the first 3 weeks of the year, called up to start 27-6A play. And looking like a good call on Coach Bruce's part. First down run here by Weaver, the quarterback, to the 15 for 4. 2nd down, 6 to go.
They just keep chipping away, and you've got to come up with a stop on a big 2nd or 3rd down to keep them out of the end zone.
Wagner just 13 points so far in 2.5 district games. Shut out the last time against Clemens, 23-zip, and shut out in the first half tonight. But inside the red zone right now. 2nd and 5. Little run by the quarterback Weaver on the option. He will keep it himself, breaking a couple of tackles and lunging inside the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. Coleman'sberger, the Ranger linebacker. But Gimpy getting back up. Remember, there is no Will Gibbons available tonight at linebacker for Smithson Valley. And speaking of Gimpy, Alex Flores comes off right now as well.
That was a 2-yard run that turned into a 10-yard run because of missed tackles.
You hear a lot of times about teams who struggle offensively when the field compresses. But with an option offense, I don't think that's an issue. Goal to go from the 3. Weaver, the handoff to Butler, and backs his way across the plane into the end zone for the touchdown, and for the freshman, his 2nd this year, and Wagner is on the board.
Nice looking drive by the T-Birds. Stayed efficient, stayed ahead of the chains, didn't have any penalties. You know, they performed well on that drive.
And the big play, of course, the first play of the drive, the 50-yard run by Black, and you felt for him, Tony, because it looked like a sure touchdown, but he ran out of gas, and you wondered, would Wagner capitalize? They did, and the PAT, meanwhile, is good for a viable lead, and it is at now a 35-7 Ranger lead. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Get closer to the action like never before with NASCAR Race Hub on FS1. At the track.
Looks like Superman won.
In the shop.
Catching up with Joey Logano.
On the headsets and behind the scenes.
Every night, the place to be.
All season long.
Hear the story from the drivers who live it
That's how tough the track was to drive.
And get the ultimate setup from the legends of the sport.
You can't script it. There's certain things out of your control.
NASCAR Race Hub, all season long on FS1.
And we're back at Rutledge Stadium. Wagner trying to climb back into the game. Moments ago, the Thunderbirds able to navigate down the football field and punch it in. LJ Butler, the freshman, a 3-yard touchdown run, and it's now a 35-7 Ranger lead. A little more than 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
A nice looking drive. Again, you mentioned the long run had the biggest part of it, but I just like the way they stayed efficient and they were consistent in moving the ball forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as I mentioned as we went to break, this is a big answer by the Rangers right now. Don't let Wagner think they're back in the game just because they got a touchdown drive. You got to stop it right now and put some more points on the board. Be efficient and take some time off the clock.
Here is Matthew Toledo to kick off. Another player who doesn't look the part of a kicker. And fielded by Woodard at the 32. Cutting it outside. Woodard still running to the 40. Spins out of a tackle, and the defender able to hold on to his shoe and finally drop him out around the 40-yard line. Good heads-up play there by Isaiah Leday. If he doesn't hold on to Woodard, he might still be running.
That will, though, reduce his kick return average.
You know, Woodard this year still doesn't have that touchdown. You know what I mean by that touchdown? A punt or kickoff return. He has 5 career kickoff return touchdowns, 4 punt return scores, but hasn't broken loose to the house quite yet. Keep that one in mind. First down from the 41 for the Ranger offense. Here is Matt Franco back at a running back after a nice opening third quarter series by Greg Eggleston. Franco turns out 3 yards. Second down is 7 from the Ranger 43-yard line.
Said this about Eggleston. I think Franco's the same way. Got a lot of want to. I mean, he turned and got bumped and just went sideways and kept his legs churning and ended up getting 3 yards out of something that shouldn't have been anything.
Smithson Valley playing for a 6-0 start. Wagner playing for its first district win. There's going to be a fight for that final playoff spot if one is to assume that Smithson Valley, Judson, and Steele are the 3 for sure playoff bets. On second down, here's Franco running outside and brought down from behind. Just shy of midfield. Will set up third down at about 4 to go.
Said this earlier, too. They're starting to look better on defense, getting to the ball, making plays. That time, good job of wrapping up on the tackle.
You would think, Clemens, and I say this knowing that Steele is 0-2 in the district, but you would think Clemens, New Braunfels, and then the field of Canyon, Wagner, and East Central all fighting for that final playoff spot.
Yeah. Big third down.
Third down, 3 to go, under 5 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Flag is in as Williams keeps it himself. This one might be coming back. Williams, a nice run all the way inside the 40 to the 36. Rangers were penalized quite a bit in the first half, and this one is in fact coming back.
Our outside receiver was too far up, and he tried to jump back, and he wasn't set when the snap was made. So third down conversion goes awry. Now it's 3rd and 8?
And again, the Rangers have picked up 3rd and long quite a bit in the game already. You look at the numbers again, Levi Williams. Boy, his yards per completion average is just off the charts. You go back to 2 weeks ago in the previous game against East Central, 11 completions for 242. And again so far tonight, 12 completions for over 300 yards. So deep passes, the bottom line, shouldn't be an issue for this junior quarterback. 3rd down, 8 to go. Passing down, pump fake, taking a shot deep, and the Passover shot for Dorsal Hunter was a bit late getting into the break there. Or that or Williams a bit too early throwing the football. Either way, incomplete, and now 4th down.
Stop and go route by Hunter that time, and I think Levi just let the ball go too early. Didn't know how quick Hunter was going to get out of his stop and go, and he just didn't get up to speed quick enough to get there.
Tony, you said that possession was going to be an important one for Smithson Valley to respond to Wagner's scoring drive. They don't, so now the Thunderbirds have to be feeling pretty confident right now.
I think they're obviously probably have the highest confidence level they've had all year, all game.
Why on earth would the punt returner run away from the football? As that ball bounces from about the 25 all the way inside the 5-yard line down to the 2, and back to return the punt. There was Carlton Black, but again ran away from the football.
Yeah, that.
Maybe he thought it was.
If you think it's going to go in the end zone, that's something you sometimes do. But that ball landed, at the 20, didn't it?
And as it did, so it took a favorable Ranger bounce. But I didn't think that ball had any shot of sailing into the end zone.
No.
That perhaps Black did. And now Wagner starts. Go back to special teams play.
Yes.
At its own 2-yard line. Down 28. A team needing breaks right now. Run play, no surprise here. Butler. This time the Rangers stack them up after a short gain, only 2 yards to the 4-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
A little more focused on the whole line that time, seeing where he was. Got both quarterbacks on the field again, with Brown in there as one of the slot backs.
3:40 to go, 3rd quarter. Rangers on top, 35-7. Wagner a long way to go to chip further into the lead. Option play, Weaver keeps it, taking it outside and taken down by Coleman'sberger. So the names we've called tonight with regularity on defense, C.J. Keeler, Jacob Zuber, and Matt Coleman'sberger.
And they've been all very effective in what they've been asked to do tonight. That time they got a nice crackback block on the outside linebacker to give Weaver some room that time. Good support from the linebacking core, though.
Could be a big play here for the Ranger defense if they force a 3-and-out with Wagner tucked inside of its own 10, but they don't get that stop as Butler breaks tackles across the 15 and takes 2 Rangers with him to the 17-yard line, not playing like a freshman tonight, but now calling for a sub as he limps off to the Wagner sideline.
He is a good-looking running back for a freshman.
And hopefully for his sake and for Wagner's, only a breather needed here for Butler as Dominic Parks takes his place. 1st down from the 17. Weaver taking his time. And now ready for 1st down. We'll hand it off to Parks up the middle. Crashed down just across the 20 by Zuber. At the 22 for 5 more. And another Thunderbird limps off. Here's Jorel Brown who comes to the sideline. A lot of players have come up a bit lame tonight. Final 2 minutes, 3rd quarter. Rangers could be about 14 minutes away from a 6-0 start of the season. On 2nd down and 5. Weaver again will look back to the sidelines for the call.
It's been a constant, though. 5 yards on 1st down has been something they've done the whole game.
On 2nd and 5, option pitch. Black tracked down from behind by Coleman'sberger. I swear by game's end he's going to have 37 tackles. Stop at the 26, short of the 1st down. 3rd and short coming up now.
And he's only playing in the middle because Gibbons is out tonight, making the most of his opportunity.
A 1st-year varsity player, Matt Coleman'sberger. It's a big shoes to fill, a linebacker from a year ago, including Will's older brother.
Yes.
3rd down in the yard. Running play, Butler back into the game. And another impact play made. 1st down pickup to the 29-yard line, final minute, 3rd quarter. But the thing about this, Wagner option-heavy offense and trying to come back, it's run, run, run. The clock is always running. There's not many stoppages here, so as well as the offense has looked, Tony, over the last 2 possessions, they're not going to have enough time.
Exactly.
At some point, you have to throw the football. Option or not. This is a run. Running left to the 35 and a nice block to the outside. Across the 40, the tackle made. Ball squirts free, but picked up by Wagner. Forced fumble there by Trevon Merrick-Wooder. Stripped the football away from Jorel Brown. but a teammate right there on the spot, DeMarcus Hendricks, and keeps Wagner from losing his third fumble tonight.
And that's that slot counter that they got Black on the distance a while back. This time it was Brown.
And now first down for the 42. Penalty marker in first, though, and this will bring Wagner back 5 yards on the false start. Wagner, by the way, out to a 3-0 start for the second year in a row. They started 3-0 last year, but again, once 27-6A play started, things went south. Just 1-6 a year ago in district play, only win over East Central. And 0-2 so far this season. Could be the final play of this third quarter. On first down at 15 now from the 37. A run for Butler up the middle. Turns out the 5 yards they lost on the penalty. And that will do it here in quarter number 3. Smithson Valley 12 minutes away from a 6-0 start. It's the Rangers 35, Wagner 7. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
In college football, you don't have the luxury of looking ahead. Every Saturday's a different way of destroying your season. They'll make the ground shake. They'll make your eyes burn. They'll show you hate and disrespect unlike anything you've ever seen. Don't think about January when there's a Wolverine coming for your face in September. The biggest game, the only game, is the one you're playing.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
And welcome back to Rutledge Stadium. Ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Rangers on top 35-7. Wagner the football faced with 2nd and 10 at its own 42. An option play, and Weaver, the quarterback, will keep it himself, running into traffic. And not much room there. Stopped after a gain of a yard, but it's coming back anyway. Another penalty on this drive against the Thunderbirds.
I think it was Zillman that was trying to get out to the edge. And it looked to me, what happened was he just threw the offensive lineman down to go get the runner. That must have been where the hold was, though, because he was fighting like the dickens to get around that guy.
And makes it now 2nd down and 20 to go. Again, not much in the air tonight for Wagner. Only 2 pass attempts for Tobias Weaver, who earlier I mistakenly called Tobias Harris a player for the Detroit Pistons. This is not the NBA. Here's Butler breaking tackles across the 40 towards midfield. Nice move to the inside. First down to the Ranger 42, and Wagner has found a player, the freshman L.J. Butler.
And I was just about to say when that play started on 2nd and 20 that they probably won't give it to the fullback this time because you know his 5 or 6 yards, but he looked like anything but a fullback on that run.
But Wagner just needs about 7 more L.J. Butlers on the roster. From the Ranger 42, 1st and 10. And on first down, and it is Weaver decided to keep it there, and the Rangers make him pay for that choice. A loss back to the 43-yard line. On the tackle there for Smithson Valley coming up on defense was Thomas Zoig. Haven't called his name tonight. The sophomore linebacker making a play. 2nd down and 11. You look out there on defense, still primarily the first team for Smithson Valley. Reducing the secondary, Ethan Sill now playing at safety. On 2nd down and 11, it is a run. And to the 39, Manoa Pow stops Jorel Brown after a gain of about 4 yards. 3rd down, 8 to go, 10:20 left, fourth quarter. Rangers again on top, 35-7. A win tonight would make it 8 straight in this series over the Thunderbirds. These two teams have met every year since 2006.
That was another one of those slot back counters or reverses that they've gone to considerably in the second half.
And Weaver on the run, trying to take it to the outside, breaking a couple of tackles. Pow in pursuit. He can't catch him. Still running and finally dragged down by the safety, Brady Chubb. Think about how much ground Chubb had to cover there from where he starts to make the play there, but he makes it, and it brings up 4th down and long.
Great job of pursuit by the entire defense, because I'm telling you what, Weaver is hard to catch. He has got some kind of quickness, and yet everybody stayed with it and pursued it to a loss.
I think it's obvious Wagner has some athletes on this team, but maybe just not enough.
Without a doubt, not enough.
4th and 13. Wagner keeps the offensive personnel out there, but Weaver backs up a couple of more yards for a punt. And it bounces inside the 15, picked up by Woodard on the run. Gets a block at the 15-yard line, running across the 20 to the 28-yard line. 9:02 left, 4th quarter. Ranger football on top by a score of 35-7. And again, the date next week. The Clemens Buffaloes back home at Ranger Stadium. Last we checked, by the way, it was a 14-7 Clemens lead at halftime over Canyon. The Cougars showing some fight tonight back home in New Braunfels.
And they have not played well for a couple of weeks. Kind of interesting to see them putting up a fight against Clemens that remains undefeated.
Updated score right now, 6:18 to go. Clemens on top, 21-7.
Still not the kind of score I think we expected.
And by the way, with Canyon scoring tonight, that breaking a streak of 3 consecutive shutouts posted by Clemens' defense. Do wonder how much longer Levi Williams will stay in the game. Out there right now, first half with a 28, run for Franco up the middle. Good second effort. Picks up about 2 yards up to the 30. And not Franco in the carry, though, beg your pardon. It was Eggleston, if you recall. A really nice opening drive for him in the 3rd quarter.
Yes.
And now 2nd down and 8.
I think we'll start seeing more substitutions as we go in the final 8 minutes here of the game.
Well, you look at the offensive line, still first team out there for the Rangers. Eggleston technically is a backup, yes, but good enough to be a starter at running back. 3 wide on 2nd and 8. And Wagner bringing a big rush here. Pass is caught by Anderson. And Brant Anderson has a first down right around the 40-yard line. Nice throw there with pressure in his face by Williams.
Yeah, let me just compliment Levi Williams again for getting rid of a ball with someone on top of him right there in his throwing motion, getting pressure, and he still got the ball out with some authority to Anderson, who then made a nice play for the first down.
That was his first completion of the second half, but again, Tony, it seems as if Smithson Valley has made a dedicated effort to run the football in the second half, as if knowing, okay, at the break, up 28-0, let's experiment now with the run game.
Well, and let's keep that clock moving.
That as well. I'm not complaining about that either, and I know you're not. First down from the 40. Here's a run for Eggleston. Taking it outside and out of bounds at around the 44 for 4 more yards to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Part of the deal keeping the clock running is not running out of bounds.
Fair enough. I would think this will be the last possession for this first team Ranger offense.
I would think so too. I would feel like Coach Hill probably would have been more comfortable if the Rangers would have got a 3rd quarter score.
Rangers scored 54 2 weeks ago. In their last game against East Central, they're averaging 45 points per game. On 2nd down, Eggleston running, and the ball nearly came out. Wagner was trying to strip the football away. Eggleston hangs onto it, while Wagner player does end up with the ball, but again, Eggleston was down. At the 43, no gain, 3rd down and 7.
Michael Turbin, their linebacker, seems to be in on almost every play, and that time right in the midst of that. Rangers had some limited success running the ball in the 3rd quarter. Right now, the defense trying to push back a little bit.
3rd down, 7 to go. The Rangers have to reach the midfield stripe for a first down. Williams looking to throw, pressured on the rollout, takes off to run, and dropped just short of the 50 to the 48 to bring up 4th down and 2.
Not a chance they'll go for it here.
Wouldn't think so. I mentioned those points per game, by the way. Remember how good the offense was last year with Josh Adkins and, Woodard playing receiver as a junior? Well, this offense is averaging 5 points per game more than last year's did.
And they're going for it.
They will. Offense stays out there, maybe trying to draw Wagner off sides. They nearly jump, but Williams doesn't call for the snap. Play clock under 10 now for the junior quarterback. He will call for the snap. Here's Eggleston running left, 1st down yardage, and more inside the 45. And out of bounds at the 42 in Wagner territory with 6:37 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Greg didn't believe he stepped out of bounds that time as he broke away from the tackler on the sideline. But he did, and the ball is 1st and 10 from the 42.
So Smithson Valley now 6:37 away from a win. Will be their 6th consecutive road victory dating back to last year. Since 2010, the Rangers on the road, counting tonight as a victory, 32-7. On 1st down, a pass caught by Anderson. Nice route and a run out of bounds at the 31 for 11 more yards and another Smithson Valley 1st down.
Levi Williams seems to be making a lot of throws in some kind of duress here in the second half.
We talked about this earlier. Wagner's front four is actually pretty good. Of all the levels of their defense, the up front, the linebackers in the middle, the back end of the secondary, I'd say the most talent they have is up front.
I wouldn't argue with you there.
When you look at the size up there again of Clay at 258s and Hernandez 250, they're getting a push up front. As there was a long delay here, Smithson Valley will call for a timeout. With 6:32 to go in the 4th quarter, on top by a score of 35-7. So again,
what do you think, coaching moment?
I would think so right now. Tony, the Rangers have not really called many timeouts here tonight. This is their first. They didn't call any in the first half either, and a chance to maybe talk about the game situation. I wouldn't think this is a strategic timeout call by any stretch right now.
Or do you think we're taking starters out and putting backups in?
That is a great point, and maybe that's what this timeout is about right now.
I think it is. I just saw 5 offensive linemen walk off the field.
Oh, there you go. So looking at the district standings, and again assuming finals here, Clemens beating Canyon, Judson beating East Central, and Steele beating New Braunfels. That would make Clemens, Smithson Valley, and Judson still all 3-0. New Braunfels would fall to 1-2. Canyon 1-2. Steele improving to 1-2. A lot of unanswered questions for district championships and playoff spots, with still 4 games left to play. In district is the Rangers offensive personnel. As Tony said, a lot of backups out there right now, with the exception of Williams, still in a quarterback.
And the flag is against the Rangers.
False start, puts it back. So you look at the offensive line. Lathan Faustich is out there. Faustich is out there at left tackle. Merrick Everett at guard. Taylor Brooks at center. Juan Ramirez at right guard. And Mark Cravens at right tackle. 1st and 15, run play. Running right is Rios. Trying to cut it back to his left. Has a block from Williams on the outside. He's inside the 30 and out of bounds to the 25-yard line. Ricky Rios ran about 93 yards there. All to pick up about 11 yards. Good run, though. We'll bring up 2nd down at about 5 to go.
Receiver jet sweep from one side of the field to the next and then back to the original side. You're right. And it's 2nd down and 5.
See Jeremiah Gilliam out at receiver right now, along with Nicholas Kuykendall as well. And now the backup quarterback is in, Colton Eilers for Smithson Valley. Game in the back pocket, halfway through the 4th quarter. Rangers on top by 28. On 2nd and 5, here is a run down to the 24-yard line. First carry tonight for Leo Garcia, senior running back, 5'7", 145, into the game for the first time tonight.
A lot of players shuffling in and out as Coach Hill gets more and more onto the field for the plays.
One of the players coming out, Juan Ramirez at guard. Don't see many players at that size playing in the offensive line. 5'6", 185. Third down, 3 to go from the 23. Here's a pitch to Garcia and dropped for a loss back to the 29-yard line. Good play on the edge there by Cuellar. And on 4th down, I would think Smithson Valley's offense will go for it here. Too short for a punt, too far for a field goal. And let's see if the backups can make a play.
No doubt about it. See if a conversion can be made.
Eilers has shown us a few good throws so far in limited action this season, 9 of 11 passing. And there's a passing down, 4th down, 8 to go. Eilers will throw it, and a catch made, breaking to the outside, but not able to break free at the 25 was Kuykendall. Good throw, good effort, not good enough though, and a turnover on downs.
One of those throws that if it's a step further in front of him, maybe he can run into it and run away from the defender. I don't know that it was a bad throw, just the defender was there to make a play.
Well, Tony might get one more look here at Wagner's offense tonight.
And with 4:57 to go, I think that's about a 6 or 7 play drive if they can get a first down or two.
The yardage has been there for Wagner tonight. They've moved the football.
Yes, they have.
A couple of drives, though, have stalled. Probably one could argue that Wagner should have 7 or maybe 14 more points on the board tonight, as Weaver starts the drive at his own 25. And on 1st down, he wants to throw a deep drop and a deep shot, looking for Cobbs, and a diving catch is made inside of midfield. Nice throw by Weaver on just his 3rd attempt tonight. Cobbs the catch. First down, Wagner.
You know, we've watched him throw tonight, and not very impressively. Most of his passes have just gone up in the air and not down the field. That one was a bullet that hit Combs' perfect place.
27-yard gain for a receiver, and Cobbs averaging about 30 yards a catch this year, and left guard got a bit excited there. Wendell Banks went to block somebody before the ball was snapped. They won't let you do that. And now 1st and 15.
Ball back to the 47-yard line, keeper territory.
Ball back behind midfield, the Wagner 47 on 1st down. A run play. Butler, no surprise there. And against the Ranger backups, churns out about 4 yards to bring up 2nd down at 11. You know, it wasn't long ago that Wagner's program was actually enjoying some success. From 08 to 2011, this team won 28 games, and in 2010, they made it all the way to the region finals, but it's been kind of a tough go. But since then, dating back to the beginning of Coach Bruce's tenure, in 2012, as Butler runs to his left again and sliced down for a loss. Nice tackle back in midfield made by Caleb Reed to bring up 3rd down and 12. Wagner, since they last made the postseason in 2012, have not been back since then with a record of 12-33, and their district record since then, counting tonight, 3-24.
A lot of seniors getting some moments on here. Brock Day had a nice tackle the play before. Coach Hill and his staff getting a lot of different players out on the field this last series.
3rd down, 11 to go from midfield. And Weaver the pitch to Black running right. Turns a corner, turns on the Jets, but unable to turn out the 1st down. A penalty marker, though, thrown back at the 44. This one might come back. You see Corey McElroy out there on defense right now for the Rangers. Also see Cesar Mascoro out there defensive end. In the secondary, Jacob Mingle. A lot of 2s and 3s out there right now for Smithson Valley.
Michael Smith was the defensive end that gave chase on that one. And a nice dive to reach after Weaver, just unsuccessful, but the play comes back anyway.
After the hold called against Wagner, Austin Duncan out there at safety right now as well. Has to be a great moment, Tony, for these players to have their names called and to be out there. And as you said, this is some valuable experience, not just tonight, but they've gotten a ton all year long with the exception of the opener against Pflugerville Hendrickson. 3rd down, 23 now after the penalty from the 41, and Weaver now from the shotgun. He will throw it over the middle and over the hands of his receiver, who was calling for a flag. That's DeMarcus Hendricks. No penalty marker thrown. And boy, on 3rd and 23, that was a really quick throw by Weaver.
Yeah, the receiver was bracketed on each side with a defender. I don't know what he thought he would get out of that. Obviously, that's a play they draw up that's a quick hit and let him run, but the defense sniffed it out right away.
So 4th and 23 with 3 minutes to go. Weaver stays out there, and why not take a shot? They have to reach the Ranger 38 for a first down, but now Weaver backs up to punt, does just that. A Wagner roll inside the 20, still moving inside the 10, all the way down to the 8-yard line. That's a 51-yard punt there by the quarterback, Tobias Weaver. And maybe the last we've seen of him tonight as the Ranger offense takes over with 2:44 to go, on top 35-7. The Rangers, after 6 games last year, were 4-2 following a 37-0 win over Wagner, and about to be 6-0 after 6 this season.
This unit comes on the field knowing with 1 first down they can run out the clock.
Wagner does have 3 timeouts. Not sure how apt they'll be to use any of them.
We would not expect them to use them.
Hallam in a quarterback now for Smithson Valley. His first series of the night. And a nice run on first down up to the 14-yard line. Another carry here for Leo Garcia. And the Rangers will continue shuffling in new players here. Now see Dane Spence with the backfield for Smithson Valley. Final 2 minutes from Converse. Hallam running it himself into the teeth of the Wagner defense. And back to the line of scrimmage, no more. Rangers will bring in 6 new players on this upcoming play for 3rd down and 4 to go. Well, how quickly can you communicate to that many new players if you're the quarterback, Hallam?
This series, they've shuffled the tailback on all 3 plays. This is the 3rd time, 2nd time for Garcia, but that time, I think, didn't they bring in 5 new offensive linemen as well?
I think so.
Big first down.
It would end the game. 3rd down and 4. Hallam has trouble handling the snap. The ball squirts free, and Wagner's got it. The Rangers' first turnover since their non-district finale is a fumble in garbage time picked up at the 13-yard line by Dejon Price, and Wagner a chance for more points here before the game ends.
Kind of a high snap it looked like, and Hallam didn't really ever have a hand on it and looked like he was going to hand it off, and it just kind of imploded from the bad snap.
And Wagner, by the way, has had trouble getting turnovers this year, just their 4th recovered this season. And so we have not seen the last of Tobias Weaver and that big fullback, the freshman L.J. Butler. Minute 23 left, and Wagner playing for points.
5 backups on the offensive line.
On first down, here is Weaver on the pitch, running outside of the 10 and walking in for an easy touchdown. Wagner scores on the play, Juan Aboites, and it's a 35-13 game. Or check that, Javier Cruz on the carry. And Wagner capitalizes off the Ranger turnover. I guarantee you one thing, Coach Hill will not be happy about that.
Whenever film session is, that's not going to be a real happy time to be a Ranger.
And out now for the PAT is Toledo to make it a 35-14 game. Well, we said earlier we thought Wagner's offense was better than 7 points. They don't get it the way we thought they would, but they do add to their total. And now going for 2 on a fake here, and they got it. It's Jarrell Brown. Makes it a 35-15 game with 1:13 to go. And so if you're Wagner, Coach Bruce, you talk about, things to preach to your football team going into the week of practice, things to build upon. Wagner will have won the second half. It was 28-0 Smithson Valley at the break, and Wagner's outscored the Rangers since then 15-7.
Part of me is speechless because I'm really not sure what's going on here. I think Rangers are not excited with what's going on here for sure.
Oh, sure.
And
we talked about playing time and great to get out there and after earning your opportunities of practice to get on the football field, but nobody wants to turn the football over. Nobody wants to give up points, and the bottom line is the backups have done that. And so no, it's not a good feeling right now.
Smithson Valley putting its all-hands team out on the field, expecting a onside kick. Woodard and Pierce and Hunter all on this side, Chubb on this side of the field.
It would take a miracle, obviously, for Wagner to climb back into this game somehow with 1:13 to go, but with 3 timeouts, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Their biggest handicap is their inability to strike quickly offensively.
Correct. Don't imagine they'll be getting any more fumbles inside the Ranger 15-yard line. And so here is Toledo to attempt what we believe will be an onside kick. If it was an attempt, it wasn't a very good one. Pierce, the fair catch at the 41-yard line, and Wagner can't stop the clock here, so we'll see what the approach is with 1:13 to go.
Is this that pooch, short pooch? The Rangers again fair catching it, and maybe they don't. Maybe they've not practiced an onside kick. Their kicking game is not something I think they've had a whole lot of effort into because they don't have the talent there. But that wasn't much of an onside kick.
Well, that and perhaps Wagner also realizes the game situation.
Yeah.
Even though with 3 timeouts, 1:13, even if you had a spread offense that could go down the field, that's impossible to pull off. And Hallam with the offense back out there. On first down, run for Hallam up the middle. And he'll lose some yardage, or actually gain some. Boy, the whistle's staying in the officials' pockets there. And Hallam, after about an hour, finally dragged out of the 43-yard line.
Pretty nice little scrum there. I would guess after that play that we might see 2 or 3 Christian Hallam runs.
Although Hallam comes out here, goes to the sideline, and who will take this next step back into the game is Eilers. A quarterback with 35 seconds to go.
So this will be the last play.
You would think.
It will. I think that's why the late whistle happened on the last one.
Eilers with the handoff and running wide here for the Rangers. Dane Spencer will lose yardage back to the 41. 15 seconds left. Wagner not calling for timeout. Rangers aren't either. And they will not run another play. So Smithson Valley a bit sloppy the fourth quarter, but beyond that, it was all Rangers here tonight. And Smithson Valley, for now the 9th time in the coachal era, 6-0 as they defeat Wagner 35-15 here in Converse.
I think you're excited to be 6-0, 3-0. I think what happened here in the fourth quarter is going to be an immensely important week of work for the Rangers, and I know this is a coaching staff that's not pleased with how this game ended.
We'll step aside, come back to wrap things up. This is Smithson Valley Football on the Rangers Network. We're back in just a moment.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelek, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sendejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get them on the run, we're gonna keep them on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, man?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for game night scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
And welcome back to Converse, Texas. Final score tonight, Smithson Valley 35, Wagner 15. The Rangers now one of three teams 3-0 in 27 6A play. One of them, the Judson Rockets, who Smithson Valley will play here in 3 weeks. The other, the Clemens Buffaloes, who the Rangers play next week. Big game looming up next Friday, Tony.
Yeah, and I think this is what you play for in district play. For an opportunity to win a district crown, and right now, what's in front of the Rangers is Clemens Shirts Clemens, and the Buffaloes with a win tonight have the same record as the Rangers do, and Clemens has always been a fun game for the Rangers. Mm-hmm. Generally, a lot of offense in those games, and I expect much of the same next week.
The difference tonight, Tony, had to have been that second quarter with Smithson Valley. Obviously won that quarter 28-0 behind 4 beautiful touchdown passes thrown by Levi Williams.
And again, his maturity, the word efficiency just keeps popping into my head for what he does. He seems to have them going well all the time when he's on the field, efficiently throwing the ball around. Even when he gets pressure, he's completing some tough passes, making some great passes when he has to fire it, and throwing the long ball really well as he did in the first half.
All right, Tony, 6 games, 6 wins. We'll see you for the 7th game next Friday.
Yes, sir.
Again, Smithson Valley taking on Clemens. Our next broadcast here on the Rangers Network, kickoff at 7:30 next Friday from Ranger Stadium. That will do us so here for us this evening as Smithson Valley wins this one 35-15. On behalf of Jeff Gandy, Tony Brubaker, and our entire Wick Productions crew, I'm Brant Freeman saying good night from Converse.